that it is back. We are back today, and I am with my beautiful wife again today. So, how does it feel to be back?
It feels great. Feeling great is not a feeling.
It's
I
not a
thought that's
feeling.
what he was about to say.
I'm trying to debate. Should I put on my hat? Yes, I am growing grays, and I'm growing my hair. So I'm
I
growing
was about to say you're not
grays.
growing grays. You're growing your hair that happens to be gray
Yes, that is true.
because you've had gray.
We had some technical difficulties, so we are appreciative of you being being able to wait with us. But we are here today. Cassie, what's up? Hope you are doing well. Holly, what is going on, everybody? So again, so we had a momentary glitch, so I had to go and fix it, and now we are back. So today I'm with Angie, and we're going to continue on what we started last week and talking about our budget, financial budget, the days ahead. What does it look like for us as we do budgeting? And we're specifically going to just walk through our budget and just talk through some just specifics of how we go about doing our budget, and we'll talk about some
I was
nuances
thinking
for it.
this morning, I know more than budgets.
You do know more than
Just
budgets. Would you like to talk about something different? Because we can talk about something completely different.
no.
you know. So we can
Just
talk about
you know how
anything
you
you
get
want.
pigeonholed though?
No, no,
Pigeonholed.
I don't want you to be pigeonholed. We can talk about budgeting and parenting.
That's my two things.
No, you got more. You got more. You got so much more. But and also so that Angie doesn't feel like she's being pigeonholed. Today is really going to be a day for you guys just to ask questions. Any questions that you want to ask me and Angie, specifically. We do have some stuff about budgeting, and so we're going to talk about budgeting. But if we don't just talk about budgeting, we can move on to talk about any issues that you have. It could be about parenting. It can be about
Because I'm a wealth of
budgeting.
knowledge.
It can be about how to mess your children up. It
Got that
could
one.
it could even be about cooking if you want. I mean, it could be about whatever you want to be about. It could be about 401ks. No, no, it can't be about that because
I don't know anything.
we
about
don't
it.
know much about that. So, but it could be
I put
we're
money
just
in it.
we are here. We are here for you today. So, what's up, Patsy? Everybody, you see that?
Yes.
Every day praying for EJ, Patsy. We love you. Just wanted you to know that we're still praying for EJ and praying for you,
And
praying
you,
for
yeah.
Zaya. We're praying for Yetzi. I'm mixing names together. So Yessie, we're just praying for you guys. So just wanted you guys to know that. So, but today again, we're going to be talking about. I want to bring Angie on. Yeah, last week I thought was just a really good time. But I wanted to interact with you guys. It can be about our worldviews, how we shape our marriage. It can be about just every day. I mean, whatever it is, we want you to chime in. So, I'm growing my hair out, so I'm gonna put that
He's
on.
trying to prove to the kids that he has curly hair.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening.
So I'm growing my hair out. So I mean, so it does see a lot more grays that are coming through there when you are growing your hair. So. All right. So, any questions, comments, thoughts that you guys may have early on, and then other than that, we can basically kind of jump in. We want to hear your thoughts today. What are some questions that you may have? We are going to walk through our budget, but we'll give a few minutes before we walk through our budget to answer any other questions that you may have, specifically questions for Angie and I that you may have. I have a question for you. I know some of these questions, but I want to know what you think about
You know
it.
the answers.
Yeah, I know some of the answers to the question. Are you a morning or night person? What night owl, early bird?
What would you say? I would say neither.
Yeah, that is it's kind of true. I would definitely say you lean more to the early bird than night owl.
Yes.
But I would just because you wake up because technically you wake up. You're just not as early as me.
6:17 every day because they're dumb dogs.
Yeah.
But I don't want to wake up that early.
No,
So
you
then
don't.
I'm not a morning person because that's morning. But then like 9:30 at night, I'm like, everybody stop talking.
Because you go so hard through the day. Like
That's what it is.
you're a warrior.
So I'm a day person.
You're a day person.
I'm a day person, guys.
She's a midday person. So that is where we got Ricky Brew on here. What's up, Ricky? Scott, Floyd. What's up, you guys? Derek Hayes, Daniel from New York. What's up, man? I hope all is well with you guys. So, all right, favorite ice cream.
You asked me that last time.
What did you say? I know it is.
Kisses,
It's okay. That's good. That's
It's
good.
newfound,
So favorite purchase from last year?
2019.
Yes.
Okay, we talked about it this morning, so I'll just this thing right here.
Yes.
It gets so much use.
It is.
How many mouths have touched this
Yes.
throughout the day? It's disgusting.
It is. If we have definitely, like, if one person in our family gets COVID, we all get it. Because
I'm like, get your own water.
it is
I even bought them
ridiculous.
one. They have one.
Yeah.
They just use mine.
Okay.
But it is my favorite.
That's your favorite purchase. Okay. What about the? Let me see. Favorite child?
Not
No,
doing that.
not favorite kid. Okay.
Daniel said each other's pet peeves.
Okay. Pet peeve. What is your pet peeve for me?
I have lots.
Okay. Just give him more
When
couple.
Dhati gets mad at me, he doesn't talk. He just makes this noise. He'll go. It drives me insane. That's my.
Okay,
pet peeve.
that's your pet peeve.
That's the first one that came to
All
mind.
right. All right. Pet peeve.
Okay,
Angie.
Oh, we got another.
Okay. Go ahead. Continue.
When you get up in the morning, you turn on the bathroom light. Like, not the one that could be the light that would be, the door would hide the light a little bit. You turn on the light that the whole room gets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I actually turn on the front light because I got to put on my contacts.
I know.
So that's why I got to turn on the front
I
light.
just don't want you to do that.
All right. I can close the door. Seeing that now that I know that it bothers you. My pet peeve for Angie is, like, if you leave something down at any moment, when you, like, if you have to go use the bathroom, anything, you come back, it's going to be gone. She is going to pick it up. She's going to clean it up. And, like, it wasn't even messy. It wasn't even lost. So, like, in her mind, she is going to
It's out of
create
place.
that. So, yeah. So it's
So
out
that's
of
your pet
place.
peeve?
Yeah.
I thought I was honoring you and like serving you so
Nope,
well.
pet peeve. What's up, Precious? What's up, Jessica? Cassie says this. Have any teen quarantine tips given that other teens
At the
beach, shopping, etc.? Yes. One of the things that we talked about that that we mentioned was, like, why don't everybody start like a business or start some type of major hobby business? So, like, we've been playing around with starting a YouTube channel. Both Trinity is doing like shoes, like designing shoes, taking shoes, designing them. Briaya does the jackets, things of that nature. So, like, each one of our kids, we're saying like do something productive, because otherwise they'll want to be in front of screens their whole all day, every day. So we're looking at this summer, like, getting behind and, like, even if it is investing in a business, that's something that we may do. So, all right. How do y'all look so young? Angie makes you look younger, Pastor D. Okay, yeah.
Thanks, Precious.
Because obviously you don't see those. Yeah.
I have none.
I put on the hat because I'm growing my hair. So I'm putting on the hat. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So, all right, what else? What else you got? Anything? Any other pet peeves? She's so beautiful. I don't have any more pet peeves with her. But cleaning up is definitely one of the things that Angie has a great niche for making me feel shame.
I think you just feel shame.
She knows how to make me feel. That's a pet peeve. Can I be a pet peeve? Like, your ability to make me feel shame.
It's called Chip.
Yeah, that's wrong, because you don't make me.
I
feel shame when you talk lowly of me.
I don't talk lowly of you.
Well, when you say, why did you do that? Or you should have done that.
Oh.
No? Not that serious? Okay. Well, maybe.
I think when I work out harder than Dhati and I say, you're doing great, then he feels shame.
That's true. I'm naturally.
Not me doing that.
Yes, it is. So, favorite family restaurant. This is the last one, and then we'll jump into the budget. Favorite family restaurant. 100%. That's real easy. If you put lock us all in the room, we would all answer the same question. On 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Top Spice.
At Toco Hills, not the one.
Toco Hills, Top Spice, hands down. That is number 1 for all of us. Yes. It is really.
I can order for everybody right now. I think everybody could order for everybody.
We can. We already know it. The order, they know us. It is. And it's a very expensive top restaurant. So, with 8 of us, we don't get out of there outside of $150 every time that we go.
They love seeing us come in.
They love seeing us come in. So I'm just kind of like, we could have stocks or shares. So that is kind of where we are, Yes, you guys did. Some people said they have said it with us. So today, the question is how in the world can we afford to be able to go to Top Spice? We don't go to Top Spice that often.
We can't.
Like during this quarantine, we probably went there on birthdays, on everybody's birthday. Outside of that, we have not.
Well, actually, we didn't go there.
We didn't go there. It was ordered in. Sure. But that is one of the things that we are doing. James Roberson's on here. What's up, James? What up, Jared? What's up? Hope you guys are all doing well. All right. So we're going to be talking about budgeting. You know, it's not because simply we've made a lot of money. This is a budget that we've had for pretty much the course of our marriage, almost 19 years that we've been married. We've been having this budget. I remember going in from the very beginning. You know, we came from two totally different perspectives. Angie came in with a more like frugal, diligence, disciplined approach to budget. I came in as a spend. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of this, you know, whatever. Just kind of like, if you ain't got money, I got money for you kind of a, you know,
can
approach.
Say generous and stingy.
Generous and stingy. I was trying to bring.
And then I can say, what's the negative side of generous?
I don't know. There's no negative side of generous. It's more like Jesus. So I was just like.
Frivolous? No, it's frivolous. Like,
just
frivolous and.
So I'm more like Jesus, is basically what she's trying to say. I'm more like Jesus. And you're more like who?
I'm not doing this.
You're not doing it? Okay. All right. So Gerald. All right, Gerald.
What'd you call him?
I called him Gerald. Gerald. I mean, I like, man, what I tell you. So anyway, so we're talking about, we came in with this approach. And so we had two worlds. And then when we were coming together, basically, it was like, she actually came, like, we talked about $40,000 worth of debt. I came in with more debt. You know, then I brought all the debt, basically. You know, some of the debt came because we got married, but mostly all the debt. And for her, she actually came in with the surplus. And so when we came together, I used her surplus and you know, to try to help out with some of our debt.
It was our surplus.
Our surplus. And we
our debt and our surplus.
Yes. And I think this is important for us to say, like, we actually have the same bank account. And that's from the very beginning.
I've learned that that's not the case for everybody.
Yeah, we did learn that. Like, so everything that we're talking about has to do with coming from the same bank account. Like, and we've learned, and we're not saying that like you have to, but it just makes sense. And we do advise everyone that is married to put that together and have one bank account. And that's what I realized is like, that's so easy of how people can have affairs. Yeah. You know, when you have your own bank account, like because I was wondering, I was just like, we couldn't, like, I couldn't charge things.
Because I know as soon as he charges something,
yeah, like,
oh, look,
you know before I charge it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like I'm charging it. You already like, oh, what's this called? You know, I'm just kind of like, so, but that is one of the things that we're doing. So we've been budgeting. We put our bank accounts together. We have one account that comes together, you know, and then, but we have it in multiple different accounts, as you guys know, last week when we talked about it. But what we wanted to do is kind of walk through our budget. And we're going, as we walk through our budget, we're just going to give you kind of a step-by-step of how we budget. Remember, we do budgets for the year. It's budgeting for the year. We don't do kind of just budgeting on a month-by-month basis. And we'll kind of talk through both the how we do that and the reasons why we do what we do and all that. And so
I made a mock budget. It's not our budget.
Yes.
So y'all don't.
So yeah,
see exactly.
So she created a mock budget so that we can walk through it. And so I'm going to share my screen with you. And we got a kid's budget and we got a personal budget that we have here. All right. And so in here, what we have is, this is just a basic Excel document, right? The Excel document, it has all the formulas already put in to the document, correct?
Yes.
All right. And so if you kind of look at line 4, this is all the 3 things that we talk about: income, the income budget. So we created this as a mock budget that we have. We just kind of threw in random numbers in here. But in there, basically, you have, if you are whether a 1 adult or 2 adult income that's based upon your thing. Like for us, we are on a 1 adult income budget.
Yeah, I made up some income for myself there.
So, and then, so we have the 2 adult. The other thing is taxes. Talk about the taxes.
Well, I guess, is it because you're...
Because I work a pastor.
Okay, so
I'm basically self-employed.
Yeah, because we're self-employed, we pay taxes. So rather than ending up at the end of the year and owing the government like $8,000 or something like that, we pay it forward every month and I put it in an account, and then 4 times a year I send it off to the IRS. So at the end of the year, we end up getting money back. I would like that idea better than having to pay them. So we do that.
So yeah, so we pay it off every week and every month to ourselves in order to do that. And so this is kind of the income coming in, and then the parentheses means it's taken out. So
Yeah.
so based upon that, that's just to give you the baseline of that total income. Let's just say this family makes $144,000 annually. That's basically 12,000 income multiplied by 12, so it's about 144,000, right? Let's just say our giving. The first thing that we want to say about giving is that we believe in giving of the first fruit. So we wanted to make sure that that is at the top of our budget, right? We don't wait to the end. We put it at the top of our budget. We want to give of our first fruits. The other thing that when we talk about giving, is that we want to make sure with our giving that that we are incrementally giving more. So right there, if you notice in the giving, it's 18%. When we first got married, it started off at 10%, and then we have incrementally went up each and every year to
Every
the
year
point.
we're married. We try to do it. So next year we'll move up to 19%.
Yeah, and so, but it's not. Some years we haven't did it. Obviously, it would be more than
No.
18%.
I'm saying once we reach 10 years, I tried to do year 11, we did 11%. Year 12, we did 12%. Like that was my guide.
Okay.
So when we've been married 50 years, hopefully we're giving half.
Yeah. So we're giving, and that's just something that is convictionally. This is not a biblical principle, but it's convictionally. We do believe that you got to give of your first fruits, but convictionally, we want to increase our giving. We want to get up to 20%, and then we just want to keep on just giving. Like we live on less, we want to give out more. So the way we talk about giving is that we break down our giving in these ways. That one, there's blueprint. We give to the church, but then there's a blessing fund. Again, if you were to look at our real one, there we have, there may be missionaries, there may be other things that we are given to, but there's blueprint and there's a blessing fund. Blueprint, that we give our first fruits to the church, and then we also give a blessing fund. And let me tell you a little bit about the blessing fund. The reason why we give a blessing fund is because of just the personality types. I was constantly coming back to Angie, constantly like, hey, can we give out? And like Angie was like, that's not in the budget. But I was just like, well, I needed to be in the budget. And so basically we just talked about, in terms of our giving, how do we put out, have a blessing fund? And that's for both her and I to come. So if we just want to bless people, like whether it's randomly given to someone who just lost their job or something like that, like that we plan for that. And so we have a blessing fund in our account in terms of what we're doing.
And that grows every month. So we may not, well, probably right now we are, but say March and April, we didn't help anybody. Now we have that money. March and April's is also in the account. So now we have, according to that, we have like $400 in the account.
So it just grows. If we don't give it, it grows on a consistent basis. All right, Angie, why don't you talk a little bit, talk us through the direct withdrawals.
All right, these are things that happen every month. They're kind of like my fixed expenses, right? So I always have to pay the electric bill.
Let's see if I can make it bigger.
The cell phone bill, the internet, the life insurance. You don't have to pay Apple Music, but now that we're doing it, so that's in there. Mortgage, you got to pay that or you get kicked out. Hulu, Netflix, water, all those are fixed expenses. So those are coming out. I don't write a check. I don't put it on a credit card. They're direct deposit or direct billing or whatever it's called. FYI, if you have been in a place for at least 6 months, you can do budget billing so that it'll be exactly the same. So like the water is always really $150. It's not $162 or whatever. It doesn't mess up my budget because they let you, they average your last 6 months, and then they do that. They give you a fixed amount.
So basically what you're saying is it's like sometimes with electric, water, gas, it goes high in the summer or low in the winter.
Right, exactly.
Basically, if you had to live somewhere for 6 months to a year, basically you can just go to your electric company, water company, and just say, hey,
gas, electric,
average
water,
it out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. So that's the direct withdrawals. These are things that are constant. They just are directly withdrawn from our account each and every month.
Green means cash. Those are things that we take out in cash. That's our personal spending. Adult one is actually supposed to be like adult one personal spending. That's money that you can't tell me what to do with. I can't tell Dhati what to do with. It's not, that's just money. So that's, if I want to go buy an acai bowl Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I can do that. But once my $100 is gone, it's gone. If I want to buy shoes or whatever, that's that money. Date night is mine and his date nights. Family eat out is what it says, eating out with our family as a family.
That's how we go to
That's
Top Spice.
Top Spice, or we could go Top Spice and Chick-fil-A, or we can go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, kids allowance, that is cash that I have. I'll show you a template in a minute that we made for the kids, but we give them money and then they budget their own money, and everything that they do and need comes out of their own budget. Cleaning, kids outing. I found out that I take the kids out. I didn't find out, but I was running into taking the kids out as kind of like I would study the Bible with the high schoolers on one day, the middle schoolers on one day, and Nathaniel on another day. And I kept spending money every time I'd take them to like Dunkin's. We added that to the account, and that's in cash. And then at the bottom are my credit card expenses. I always buy my groceries on credit card because it's a lot of money. And then gas, so I don't have to go in the store.
Right. So these are just different things that we put on different. So cash, literally, she'll go to the bank and she'll ultimately take, it says, hey, I need 10 20s, 10,
Yeah.
and then get it, and then she'll put it into different like envelopes, what we call our envelope system. Shout out to Brenda Haley in Denton, Texas.
Yes.
But like in the envelope systems, and then we'll have it, and so we'll have cash. So literally, I'll have $100 cash. So we do that instead of having separate bank accounts, so that we can have cash. Be able to spend on whatever I want to be able to spend it on.
Yep. And then this is where people think I'm crazy with my savings account. I literally have a savings account for each one of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things. So back to school savings. August comes every year and the kids need new clothes or new shoes or whatever. Rather than doing that all at the very beginning, I save $100 a month. In August, I have $1,200 that I split among the 6 kids, and they go get clothes. So, I mean, you guys can see everything on there, but gifts, that's just for our family. That's Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, divided by whatever, and we have that on there.
So ultimately, basically, with all of these things, these are all things that come up every year. So even insurance for our car, we found out if you pay it all up at front, it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper if you pay.
So basically, we pay ourselves, we pay it forward, and then at the end, whenever that time is coming, we already have the money in the account. Mm-hmm. We're not having to take our debt in order to get it.
Same with sports fees. Summer is very heavy on that, but other seasons aren't, so we just put it away every month so that it's there.
So technically, I can't do 450 times 12, but if it was 400 times 12, $4,800, we would have an account going into AAU season, because it's going to cost us a lot, right? So that's kind of what we're doing. Auto repairs that we talked about every year. Your car's going to break down. There's going to be something. So those are the things that we're talking about in order to do that. So we're running out of time. So let me quickly go to the kids. Some of you guys have asked the kids, how do we do this? So go through that real quick.
So I employ my kids as my cleaners for Airbnb. So that's how they make $30 a cleaning. Then they make chore money within our own house, and then if they mow somebody's lawn, that type of thing. So we've gone through and we've showed them, and they have a little envelope system of their own. But we talked to them about giving is first. Then we break down for them. They only really have 4 or 5 accounts, but they have personal spending, entertainment, and then they save for KA all year. They pay about half of it. And then gifts. Mother's Day is coming up, so they should all have money to buy me something, right? Savings account. And so then even at the bottom, I plan this out for them that at the end of this year, you'll have this much money. So if you remain disciplined and you do this, here's what you'll have. So they can see the big picture, and they can see from now until the time you graduate high school, how much money will you have for a car saved. And for them, that makes a lot more sense. Now that, like, Dhati, this is Dhati's budget. For him, he's thinking like, wow, when I turn 16, I can actually buy a car. I don't want to go buy that Xbox card I was talking about just now, because I want a car when I'm 16. So
basically, we keep it really simple for the children, walk them through it, give them short term, long term, and it really helps them to understand, like so many delayed gratification, so many teaching moments when you sit down and just walk through their budget with them, in doing that.
When I did the budget with them too, I left all the other columns in there so that they could see like when you are an adult, you will have rent, you will have. I didn't take it all out because I wanted them to have a proper view of like, oh, this other stuff is coming. So
Yeah. So, what are the questions? What are some questions that you may have? We got a few minutes left to kind of answer any questions you may have. I mean, this is our budget. This is what we've been doing again for 19 years. You know, I mean, it goes back to at the very beginning, have two different worlds coming together. I remember going to No Jerky's, the Jerky's house, and we literally read through the Treasure Principle, the
yeah.
Treasure Principle by Randy Alcorn. It's a great book, a short book, and it just allowed us philosophically to get on the same
Yeah.
page. Then you know that tied into then connected with Brenda Haley from Denton, and then being able to do kind of a cash system, and that was a huge advantage for us early in our marriage of how we're able to get out of $40,000 worth of debt in the first 3 years, primarily living on one income. You know, and that's kind of what we've always done. And so that it's given us the flexibility so that if God were to call us to Budapest, that's our favorite place to be called to. If God was to call us to Budapest, that we would be free. We're financially free to go, you know, and I've always loved Crown Financial is that God has called us to be good stewards of his resources so that we can have greater intimacy with him and we can be more free to serve him. We never want our resources and our finances to ever keep us from being able to serve God. We never want that to be a hindrance to what we're doing. And so all the way from people living with us and all that, we just always have made sure that those types of things are not a part of our budget because we never want to be tied to these things,
Yeah.
but we're doing
It's
them
so
as a
easy to
gift
get-
for.
It's so easy to get sucked into. You know, you make more money, and I think it is Crown Financial that talks about that. You make more money so that you can invest more money in the kingdom, not you make more money so you can be more comfortable.
Yeah, that's one of the principles from
okay.
Randy Alcorn. So here we go. Some of the questions: are you able to share the template of budget? Yes, Jasmine, 100%. We'll share that with you. Just again, shoot us an email. You can shoot me an email at Dhati@blueprintchurch.org. DHATI@blueprintchurch.org. We will send it. Or, you know, she gave her email last year. It's Angela.Dhati@blueprintchurch.org. Cindy says this: What's a good starting point to get husband and wife to agree to get on a budget? I would say is this is what we said. First, read a book together, like a small book, like like the Treasure Principle. It's a great small book that you can
read it in a weekend.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. That's what we did. We just went away on a weekend getaway, and we just read the book and says, "What do you think about that? Do you agree with that?" One of the things that we recognize and we talk about all the time in marital counseling is that two Christians don't make a Christian couple. And it's the same way with budgeting, that we have different perspectives that we had when it comes to spending money, you know? And so like you just automatically assume that there's one way to do it and it's your way. But us coming and reading a book together is great. I know there's probably tons of books. It's like you can read a book, you can go through a Crown Financial class, or you can go through a Randy Alcorn, book.
But I do think having an outside person speaking, whether it be an author or a class, is helpful because then it's not just taking one person's way over another, but,
Yeah.
Because then you get to argue with the other person.
Right. And then, and being able to create. So having some type of outside source to be able to speak into that, I think is really, really good for a husband and wife to kind of start as. So what we'll do is that we'll just have Angie share with Blueprint, and I guess we'll put it in the blog, just kind of a template, and we'll put it in the blog. So anybody who wants to come and get it, we can go that way. What else? What else?
I was going to say also to answer that question, if you save receipts for a month, that's very helpful to see where you're spending money. Because we've met with tons of people that'll say like, oh, I spend like $200 in groceries. No, you don't. But then they realize after they save receipts for a month, they actually spent $500 or whatever. But their budget doesn't work, and they don't know why their budget doesn't work. So saving receipts and tracking that way is good. And
That's good. Jennifer says this: I may have missed this, but how do you keep track of what you spend versus what you have budgeted? Do you use the app or to keep track of real-time spending? So that's what Angie was saying. You can either save your treats, but there are apps now that can do that. And so
I made my own.
We're more dinosaur when it comes to that. We've been doing it for 19 years. It's hard to teach a dog new tricks. I'm the dog in that scenario.
Okay, that's fine. I can share that too, but I just made my own where I have everything that's on that budget that we showed you guys is on a platform or like on a spreadsheet, and then it says here's what I was supposed to spend, and then as it happens I take it out, and at the whatever is the bottom line of that should be what I have in my bank account. It's essentially a ledger.
And Angie's basically the Excel queen. Like she has another document, and we know exactly when we're gonna get out of our house debt, like anything that's major that we purchased. Which house debt is the only thing right now. We have a couple houses, but like when are we gonna get out? Like what's the timeline? How are we gonna go do it? And so she's really, really good in that. Loretta says this: what do you guys think about investing in stocks? Well, we don't know anything about stocks, but we got trusted people. So we have financial advisors that help us, but we do have kind of a 529 plan, which is a college plan for our children. We have a retirement
They don't
plan.
know that though, so don't tell them.
Yeah, we don't let them know. We
know
tell them that you, like, if you don't get a scholarship, you ain't going.
They'll be
But
surprised.
honestly, if they don't get a scholarship, they're not going because there's not that much in there. We got 6 children, so
it'd be a lot for one kid.
It would be a lot for one kid, but not a lot for all kids. So, so there's different ways that you can track.
But yeah, we just have a 401k or whatever that's the retirement fund, and then we have a small.
So basically,
we're
trusting. We're trusting someone, and we keep track of it. So we do invest, but we don't know.
Yeah.
We can't give you any advice. Yeah, we can't give you any advice on that. So I think that's it. That's the questions that we have. We appreciate it once again. My beautiful wife, I love bringing her on because she gets down to the practical, pragmatic understanding of what it is. But, remember, when you budget for a year, get on one accord, because things that come up annually, they come up annually. So be prepared for them. Pay yourself forward so that when it comes, then you're able to do that. So, yeah. So what is the favorite purchase that you're looking forward to? What are you currently
looking forward to?
Yeah.
I still want to go to Europe.
Go to Europe. And that is one of the things.
That was my Corona bust.
Right. We were planning for a trip for Europe with all 8 of us.
3 years.
For 3 years. And it was coming up this July for Angie's 40th birthday. It was coming up this July. And guess what? It's not going to happen. Corona-19 is happening.
It's going to happen.
Well, it's not happening this year.
It's just not right.
But we're saving. But we paid ourselves forward. That's the biggest thing. So when we came, we're ready. We're ready. And that's really, it takes discipline. And I just really appreciate you guys for listening. And I appreciate my wife for helping change generations for me, of my children and children's children because of the discipline. So between Angie, Brenda Haley, Crown Financial, No Jerky, all those people, Randy Alcorn, best theological work. If you guys are looking for theology, Randy Alcorn on the theology of money. Practical of just budgeting, Dave Ramsey, as you guys already know. I think Crown Financial, I don't know if they're still producing it, but they have a good biblical kind of Bible study kind of format that they have. And so those are kind of some of the people that we've used. So we appreciate you guys. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Adios.